In last week's video, I did a smoked redfish dip, and in that video, I asked who all would like to see how I do smoked oysters, and I had a pretty good response, so today that's what I'm doing. I'm going to show you exactly how I do it. It doesn't take that long, really. A little bit of prep work involved, which I'll show you here coming up, but stay tuned to the end of the video, because at the end, I'm going to show you how I utilize smoked oysters. And you can even do this with the canned smoked oysters if you want to, but they cannot compare to what these are going to taste like. I've got 2 pints of fresh Gulf oysters, and they were packed in their own liqueur. That's going to give us somewhere around 2 dozen, maybe a few more. Oh, they smell really good too. Second pint going in. I say you cannot beat this as a natural brine. It's got the salt, the salinity already in it. With that said, I do want to add a few things to it. One of them being just about a couple tablespoons of turbinado sugar. Maybe 3 altogether. So around 3 tablespoons of sugar. I am going to throw a little additional salt in there as well. Not gonna go crazy with it. That's probably around 2 teaspoons. And I've also got some fresh bay leaf that I just took off my bay leaf trees. Now, I'm gonna use my pepper cannon, and we're gonna put some black pepper. This also has white pepper and Szechuan peppers. Give all this a good mix. That's just adding a little aromatics to it. I'll be honest with you, oysters is like one of nature's foods that really don't need much help. So I'm gonna put these in the refrigerator, just let them hang out for, I don't know, 45 minutes to an hour should be plenty of time. And from there, we'll get them on a smoker. All right, so we got them marinated. I've got some of these types of racks for my smoker. These have the fine mesh on them so nothing falls through. Now these have never been used, so I want to spray some cooking oil on these to prevent any sticking. And from here, we're just going to lay the oysters. I've got 3 of these racks, so we're going to try to utilize all of those. I might not need them all, but we'll see. Already shucked, you really don't know what size they are until you get into them. Got our next rack oiled down. And it looks like 2 of these racks is going to do it, almost to the end here. These are ready for the smoker, but before I do that, I've got to put together a glaze real fast. Let me show you how I'm doing that. Now in this bowl, I have 1 stick of butter. So into that, I'm going to add around a couple of tablespoons of honey. Give this a good mix. And into that, we're going to add some bourbon. So I'm going to say around a tablespoon. Should be plenty. Save that for later. Just give all this a good mix. I'll probably switch over to my whisk. So this glaze will go on at the very beginning and probably one more time during the cook. So let's start off with the first rack. I'm going to go ahead and apply this glaze on all these oysters. All right, that's looking pretty good. Let's go ahead and get this slid into place here. I think we'll go right about here. All right, let me get the other rack done. We'll get this thing turned on. All right, I'm gonna bring this over to grass where I'm not making as big a mess with this. All right, I've got just about enough left to put that second and final coat on here. Let's get these in here. Let's latch it down. So I'm using alder wood. I've got a few little small chunks in there for that. Now I just want to turn this on to about 200 degrees. All right, we have been going about 30 minutes, so we're going to go ahead and take a look at these. Get the smoke out of here. Oh yeah, those are looking good. These things will shrink down to like the size of a jelly bean. That's the reason you kind of want larger oysters to begin with. But these are really perfect. I'm thinking these are only going to take like another 20 minutes or so. Just do a temp check and let's just see what we're looking like inside. 115 degrees. All right, let's close her back up. So yeah, about 145 is what I'm shooting for. If I go a little over, no big deal. Just don't want to get them too crumbly and too dry. And really the only way to tell is with an instant read thermometer. And if you're in the need of a good instant read thermometer, there is a link in the description box for ThermoPro. And that's going to pull you to a page and it's going to show you my 3 favorite ThermoPro thermometers that I like using. Now there's links further down that will take you to their website showing you all the thermometers. But if you use my link to my thermometers, you'll get exclusive discounts. So make sure you check that out. These thermometers are built really good. They do everything that the more expensive thermometers can do. They're ambidextrous, they're well lit. Check it out if you want to save some money on a thermometer. Let's do a little temp check here. Yeah, they looking right. $145. And all I want to do at this point is I'm letting these cool off. They're just warm now, but I want to go ahead and take some good extra virgin olive oil. Just use your favorite. And we're going to submerge these in olive oil. In the morning, I'm going to show you what one of my favorite all-time hors d'oeuvres is for a party. I just love these flavors. It's like an explosion in your mouth when you take a bite of what I'm going to show you in the morning. Stay tuned. So as gross as these might look, I mean, it looks like a little cup of boogers there, don't it? For something to look so bad, it sure does taste good. And here is my favorite hors d'oeuvre. This is nothing more but a smoked oyster, sharp cheddar cheese, a green olive with a pimento. Now you can also use marinated olives, that's feta, and a smoked oyster. Let me go ahead and try one of these and let me explain to you the flavor explosion that you'll get. All right, so let's just take one of these, give it a try. Here we go. Wow. Oh, you got the sharp cheddar, you got the smokiness from the oysters, then the brininess from that olive. Now, if you don't like olives and if you don't like sharp cheese and if you don't like oysters, you're not gonna like this. But if you love those kind of flavors, you're absolutely gonna love this. I remember going to a Halloween party a long time ago and I had a huge platter of these. And I thought it would gross people out because of that smoked oyster on there, because of the way it looks. To my surprise, that was the first platter to disappear. It was history. So if you like these kind of flavors, you're absolutely gonna love this. And you know, you don't have to smoke your own oysters. I'm gonna tell you, they are better. They're definitely better because they're fresh. But these little canned oysters like that, you can get a lot of them for the price you're gonna pay for fresh oysters and then the time that it takes to prep everything and smoke it. But with that said, if you got oysters on hand, give this a try. And total cook time on these is around 45 minutes to an hour, no more than an hour. You don't want to dry them out. The outer part of that oyster will actually start becoming kind of rubbery if you go too long. Matter of fact, there's another method where some people take and they put them in that brine solution and they actually simmer them for like 5 minutes until they start to curl to fully cook them. Then they cold smoke them. You can cold smoke them for however long you want to. But also there's people that add a cure to that because it's in that low smoke environment. They add some sodium nitrite. I elected just to keep it all natural and go more of a hot and fast type method. 200 degrees, 1 hour, you're golden.